An old tycoon is marrying his young girlfriend, but at the wedding he pulls out a will announcing he's leaving everything to her. Not a penny for the family. Why? He says his family are nothing but vampires, always sucking him dry. He's going to sign it right then and there in front of everyone. His daughter's face falls. She storms out, slamming the door. His nephew can't believe it. His son, Toby, protests. But the old man won't be stopped. With everyone watching, the tycoon picks up the pen, ready to sign. But just then, the lights go out. After a moment of chaos, the tycoon is dead. A dagger plunged into his chest, the dagger, a family heirloom. He was going to give it to his new bride. Now it's the weapon that killed him. The bride, closest to the body, screams, pointing at the colonel, because the colonel is holding a gun, but the colonel swears he didn't do it. Says he saw a shadowy figure, and fired instinctively. The tycoon's daughter hears the noise, rushes back in, yelling for someone to help. The colonel, thinking fast, yanks the dagger out.
Colonel, man.
I'll put it back.
Luckily, there's a detective among the guests. He warns everyone, don't touch the body, don't contaminate the scene. Hearing the detective, people settle down slightly, but no one calls the police. First thing they do, check the will. Is it signed? It's not. Just as relief washes over the family, the detective drops a bombshell. They're on a cruise ship, which means the killer is still on board, one of them. The detective orders the captain, seal the area, everyone back to their cabins. Wait for the shore police when they dock. As ordered, everyone clears out. That night, the detective, Nick, and his wife Annie discuss the case. Nick figures it's the son, Toby. He stood to gain the most, but Annie disagrees. The most obvious suspect is rarely the real killer. They go back and forth, sleep forgotten, but just then, bang! A gunshot outside. They rush out. They find Toby. The son, gun in his hand, looks like suicide. A few hours later, dawn breaks. The ship docks. The shore police swarm the pier. 2 dead bodies on one cruise ship. The police chief knows this is serious. He pulls everyone aside, one by one, for questioning, trying to catch a lie. But predictable result, everyone's story matches. However, when the chief asks who they suspect, they all point to the same answer. Next, the chief questions Nick and Annie, even though they're cops too, different departments. Standard procedure. The chief says, Nick and Annie are curious too. Who does the chief suspect?
You.
The answer stuns them. The chief then accused Nick and Annie. His reasoning, they were the only outsiders among family and friends, and had arrived shortly before the murder. This leap in logic left Nick and Annie speechless. Undeterred, the chief presented more proof. A background check showed Nick wasn't a real detective, just a beat cop. Branding the broke liar a more likely killer than the wealthy relatives, the chief confiscated their passports.